This is going to be Riverside's hero, Antonio Helms. And what's he here for? Well, simple. There's a certain church in Riverside that I've always wanted to make a base. So, let's make a challenge out of it and see if I can get into there as a carpenter with some modded ideas. As well, this is obviously a talkover, but the main idea is this. There are sprinters and, well, the population's on low, but since we're in Riverside, it's going to be more hectic. Somehow. This is ample foreshadowing as I mentioned, well, right now. But, honestly, it'll be quite fun with the entire of my skill set, as it will be the most useful idea to me, because, well, if you want to base up somewhere, you need carpentry, mainly. But the main problem is, I gotta get to the church in 10 days, or a massive horde will come in and kill me. How big's the horde? Well, thinking of it, I have sprinters up to high, or very high, so that means nearly all the zomboids will be sprinters. And what will that lead to? 100 sprinters. So, yeah, it's going to be quite fun, won't it? And, well, we can see what will happen then. You can see, these are all my skills, and yes, I am a student driver who is a late drinker with high thirst and a Sunday driver, so that means cars are extremely useless. And honestly, it was the only way I could do it without making myself overpowered, because I want it to be fair. And, well, if I never said, zomboids have pinpoint hearing, but terrible eyesight. So even if I whisper, enough zomboids will hear me be called a horde. And honestly, it was the most worst idea ever. Even the starting zone here was hard, because even though the area has no zomboids in here, it'll still be very dangerous. But my character is somewhat slow, and it kinda led up to a ton of problems when it comes to finding weapons, maybe food. This will be a most dangerous thing. As for the first day, all I did was scout the area around and make a plan, and obviously clean some rooms up. But surprisingly, day one wasn't really that hard. I don't know why it wasn't hard, it was just interesting, because my house had barely any good loot, and it was kind of annoying. After searching some houses, I decided to walk around and found a group of zombies. And someone caught my eye in the crowd, although I was confused on why most of them weren't running, but it wasn't that much of a big deal. The only reason I wanted to kill all these guys is because one had something on him, as it was the hiking backpack, and that was obviously my main bag I wanted, as well as a sleeping bag, just in case I perchance got stuck in a building. This is subtle foreshadowing for me. And, well, I did put the weather to extremely rainy, so throughout the entire game of my life, it was raining constantly, and it was quite good. But, as you can see, all of them heard me kill those two guys. But, since I'm in the fenced, gated community, it was kind of easy to get around everyone. Well, until we were somehow inside the fences. And what can I do here? Simple. I can't use much energy, so I might as well run away for a bit. And thankfully, as I said, day 1 had barely any sprinters. But at least it was easy a bit. The only bad trouble was weight gain. By that I mean not my character weight, but how much I'm holding in total. Since everywhere I looked in this one area had zombies everywhere. Like even near the houses, there were just big bundles of them everywhere. Like a literal horde was right there. But the only thing was I needed to look around more, find out what's there, and, well, see if there's anything useful. But, obviously, as I was walking around, I had nowhere to go. Plus, the only way I could tell if one was a sprinter was if they were gonna start technically fast walking. That's how you can easily tell if it's a sprinter. But overall, for day 1, it wasn't really that bad, I'd have to say. Only because of how interesting it was. But I did find good loot, at least, because I did find a police officer, and that was my main ticket of getting good loot. After killing that group, I did try break into a van, but obviously that didn't work. But from that small group, I did find a hockey stick. And that was like the only good weapon I really found, apart from the police officer that was coming along. Since police officers would be extremely important, just because of the amount of loot they can carry. As always, they had some good stuff like the baton and a bulletproof vest. Problem: there was a constant rise of zombies chasing me. And my guy would be hungry and a bit sleepy by now. And I don't know why I chugged an entire bottle of coffee. Not liquid, but dust. Liquid dust. Not really liquid, but you know what I mean. Coffee dust. And really, that was the most terrible idea I've had so far in my run. Because I had a bottle of water. But now that I'm thinking of it, I may have eaten the coffee dust because my guy was hungry. And yeah, that was the biggest mistake of my life, since that might have foreshadowed how I would be surviving because of my peak intelligence when it comes to survival and trying to get a task complete. This all happened on day 1, by the way, so you know how terrible it started. But out of it, I got 2 batons, or nightsticks. And really, this was the only good day I've had. And honestly, could have been better. Yes and no. What was my main goal? Simple. Head up to a base and, well, camp out for a bit. Since even though the church is roughly roughly northwest of where I am, since that's where the town is and where the church is, I could have run there because of the time, but if it got dark, I'd be stuck out there in the dark with a possible horde walking around. So overall, I'd have to say day 1 could have been better, and so we could easily move on to day 2, which would be the journey to the church. And it could have been worse, because I'll just show you what happened. At the start of the day, I basically had my fill of food, got my inventory sorted out of saying which is important, which isn't important. And, well, I had it roughly sorted out. But the idea was, how will I be able to use this long run? So, after sorting my inventory out, I decided, let's get out of here and get to town, since it'd be very important to, and this would have been extremely important because I would now start seeing runners and sprinters. The most horrifying thing I've ever had, because they scream now. Yep, they scream, so that was kind of bad. But also, my shoes don't work. The Iron Boot Ranger shoes? Yeah, they don't have the front. So if you see my character with no toes, don't worry about it, it's quite normal. As I was making my way up the road, I found the parking lot. And this is where it all fell apart, as I nearly got sneak attacked by a sprinter, finally. Or, not that I've happened before, but hey, the sprinters are finally here. See my throat. Honestly, they're not hard, because I put them at weak, and the strength at weak, so it would take a ton to kill me, possibly. But also a simple bite would kill me, since everyone's infected. So it could have been worse. But, yeah. This is when the runners started getting more and more progressive. But here's where I had a little roadblock. So, my chance was either walk through the trees. As I walked, I kept seeing trees move. I don't know if that was my paranoia looking, but I had a feeling it was I either go through there and get attacked possibly, and maybe injure my leg, or go through the parking lot, since it would make me die even quicker on day 2, which is not a good thing. So, my plan? Simple. We'll just go straight through the forest, since that was the most easiest idea I would have had. But I kept seeing trees move now and again, just slightly, but not all the time. And I never liked the forests in this game. But here's where I met my second target. That big building would be helpful. Problem? Locked. But my main idea was to go around the building to go near the river. You won't believe this, but it's called Riverside for a reason, because it's beside a river. But I had to have an idea of going into the cars, searching, hoping they're unlocked, and you'll be surprised how many cars are unlocked, even if the settings are on low. But I couldn't get close to them, even though they had bad sight. It's if I made a tiny bit of noise. As I said, whispering will make them attack me, because of how dangerous their hearing is. So, idea, as I said, go near the water. It'd be far away from all the zombies, since they don't really go near there that much, because they all stick to the main area. And here's where my idea really began. And, well, it was kind of terrible, because I looked there and there was no one there. Boom, another zombie appears. That's how dangerous pinpoint is, because they kept coming and coming and coming, since melee makes noise now due to build 42. And run, yes. Hordes, no. Why would I say that? Simple. You just see right there, when I keep turning around, there was a mini horde. Could I have took my chance there? Possible. Would I be able to kill them all easily? I don't know. I do have muscle strain to 0.5, so I barely get any. it still appears, even at the lowest setting, which is 0.5 as mentioned. So if I wanted to fight all of them, I would lose, because 1, I might get too exhausted, 2, muscle strain, 3, more hordes, plus I may have been more tired if I don't look after myself. So yeah, that was amazing. So now that I'm in the town, I was moving along, and I decided, let's go into the back of these areas. Why? Simple, they sometimes have good stuff. Bad thing though, as I was walking around, I kind of heard things behind me, and as you can hear right now, they're bashing on a door. The thing that made me more paranoid was, can I actually go out? No, because as you can see from my noodles, I was dying of thirst, and I was pretty tired because I was stupidly crouch running everywhere. Plus, I did drop the bleach balls because you can empty them and fill them with water. This would be a lifesaver in the future, but as I'm going to keep foreshadowing, it would be useful if I could live long enough and build an actual base. So what was my main idea? Simple. I can't really see a way of getting out. So my main idea was to, simple, sleep here for the night, since I would have no chance of doing anything here. So all I did was eat most of my food, get my sleeping bag all ready, and drank whiskey, because that would have kept me asleep, and it's, well, about thirst. Even if the food did give me liquid, it wouldn't get rid of my thirst. So I sat here for a few, trying to think of a plan, and honestly the only plan that was really helpful was to knock myself out, because tired, panicked, thirsty, and over encumbered. But from me looking around, I couldn't tell, because at the donut place there was a massive horde, so I couldn't do anything. If I made the most tiniest bit of noise, I'd be overrun, I'd be killed. Simple and easy, just like that. But honestly, I kind of watch myself here and say, why was I so stupid at eating all the food? I should have at least eaten all the food that would go rotten first. Then the canned food, since that would keep me alive longer. So I got my sleeping bag ready and went, yep, let's get drunk and fall asleep. And people, that's what I did. And that was literally the entirety of day 2. I drank and I fell asleep. That was it. Nothing good, nothing important. I may have read a book and all that, but overall, I'd have to say I did absolutely terrible. Even I'm embarrassed for myself. But yeah, let's just move on to day 3, because, come on, we need to do something better than this, like. After sleeping in that cursed room with all the banging, I left and decided to get somewhere else. Until I then stumbled into a horde by accident, and yeah. My brain said, go into the bank, it's the best spot you can go to live in. And no, it wasn't, because down there, as you can see, there's runners, and they're all going to try and chase me in. They've already broken through the window. It's only a matter of time when they get up to my floor. This is when I was finicky. You know the word is, to fidget around everything. It took me I was panicking a lot because I don't want to die that quickly on day 3, as it'll pop up soon. So for my idea, I was trying to figure out where I could place it. Main idea, just straight up, right there. And honestly, I thought I had a good little tiny home. Sadly, I kind of spent an entire day of sleeping because my guy is a bad drinker of alcohol, so he'd be restless a lot more. Since I've broken the sleep schedule for him, it's entirely ruined him. And as you can see, all the zombies are getting here. Well, what was my main idea? Main idea was to, well, shelter up here for a tiny bit. And, well, possibly sleep by chance. Also, I did find a crowbar, so that was only the good thing I did in this entire run. I was very happy with the crowbar. That was my only friend. Yet I do not know if I could leave this whole area, just because I'm scared of what's happening. So, sleeping time. Had a lovely sleep. Still raining. Couldn't do much. By my thought, it looked clear, but question is, what's underneath? My fire grenade cells weren't working. As you can see, they were all here. He runs only 3 of them. It's true, I killed the majority of them. Due to how terrible the range is, I could only kill the ones who are extremely close. So, I just ate food, made a new friend, and, well, couldn't do anything else. So that was the entire plot of my day, because every time I made noise, more will come and take its place. I see, I tried finding out little areas where I can have my attack. There's nowhere. So every punch I did on the table, even if I have 10 times health on objects, which will still not be enough to protect me, I had to plan everything again. So when I looked at my surroundings and decided I can use the couch and the cupboards and maybe the fridge to do anything. Obviously it's a race against time when it comes to surviving subjects like this. So, plan was, get a bed. That's the couch. Thankfully, they're dense enough to not know how to break in. So, day 3 was extremely horrid, since I had nothing to do, and I might as well just show you how bad it got later on. after all that, they still kept coming. I tried bending the room down, didn't work due to perfect planning. I decided to jump out and nearly slashed my leg open. So I had to quite literally hop away because there was a big massive horde in the Knox Bank. What was my first idea? Simple. Try and get a car working. But since my guy is terrible at driving and everything, he'd make it much more louder. So I had to quickly get everything set up because my guy was tired, hungry, exhausted. Everything was wrong with him. So I had to get a car desperately, and barely any cars were unlocked. So I had to really speed up. No matter the body of the car, I had to get it work. Plus I found some gum, which kept starvation away. But as you see, the horde is coming still, so I had to really speed up. Try looking around this building for some ladders so I could get on the roof. That obviously did not work. So I was quickly hopping around just to find out where I can go. Even though on my game the time is different, that says it's actually day 3. In other time it's actually day 4, since day 1 is day 0 and 1 at the same time. So technically it's day 4 now, just so you know. Honestly, this was horrible. I had to speedrun everything, and I got lucky, found a car with enough fuel. I could have drove over to church, but from my peak intelligence, I can't drive. As you can see how slow that is. Student driver and Sunday driver is a bad mix. So if they were all runners, they'd chase me, and I'd still die. So as my guy was bleeding out, panicking and everything, I crashed. And the entire engine broke. So I kept spamming it to try and get the engine to work. But I had to keep an eye out on my sides, since even though they were all crawlers, there were possibly still more in the building. As you can see, some of them are kicking in now. After a few times, I gave up and said, yep, I'll run. But let's check this van, which wasn't locked. So I'm injured, probably dying right now, starving, maybe dehydrated, but I have plenty of bleach bottles of water. And you can see from the building there, there was a conga line of them. So I really had to go away. And as I'm running, I kept searching every car to see if I can even have a chance of living, which obviously didn't work. Although the weird thing was, I was expecting more sprinters chasing me. But no, they were all slow shamblers really. Maybe some fast ones in the mix, but overall it wasn't that bad. Well, for now. I walked around, found this place, which I thought was a church, and I was actually happy because this could be the best thing that happened to me yet. But I could not be even more wrong, because one, this wasn't actually a church, it was just some community place. If it was a church, it would have a lot of pews. And I thought about it, could be saving E for a bit, and I did want to leave, but obviously looking outside, there's a horde. So it was either try and run silently with injured legs while there's zombies everywhere, or even I can't even see because my guy is so tired and exhausted he barely does any damage at all. And yes, I did get jumped there. even though I should have expected him. So, that was another injury to my name. And honestly, it was very disgraceful to me. I had to be more careful because there are two of them coming up now. So, yeah, my entire idea of having an area safe was ended completely. So, yes, I did make a tiny little home in this area. And my idea was to, well, get set up. I was much more better, had somewhat plenty of sleep, and decided to leg it towards the church. Why? Because it was next door. I mean, good for me, yeah. And this would be my final stand, you can say, because I had plenty of sleep now, still injured, but at least I'm still kicking. That's what's all important is. So, I went in, I think I saw the priest come out the window. I don't know if it was the priest, but it looked like a guy who was a priest, so I was kind of happy about that. And my brain clicked. I'm going to have up here as a mini resting spot. Now, this is where it got a bit worrying. Since due to how the area looks, I can't really see anything below me. And, well, I checked here. There could have been good things in here. Door was broken right open. So I'm sure something went out and not in. Which was good. Found more sinks, more water, but I got plenty of bleach bottles still filled up. Now, important thing is fortifications. This would take me too long. So, first instance, clean up. Here's my first target, the priest. As I thought it was a priest, because look at him. It looks like a priest. It might just be a guy in a suit. Who knows? Got him dead now. That was good. But I could easily tell that there were going to be hordes coming up. Just like that. So, from killing that one guy, I possibly gotten a big horde chasing me. And obviously I would know that day 5 is my end day, since it's my final stand. Although I could have survived a tiny bit longer, but I don't really think I could. Tried picking up the chairs, didn't work. My plan? Rip open the floorboards, because that would help me very well. So, plan of action, clean up again. Since, as I said, killing one guy made about 5 people came up to me, or 6, as you saw from the window, and another one was coming for me. So I really had to speed up. Extremely quick though. So as I was finicking around, my guy kept trying to get the window open. At least I got the floor gone. Next, meant to destroy the floor itself. Since when it comes to boards like this, you have to pick up the floor, then destroy the board. And you can't place it on the floor, so I had to have it as dead weight. So, again, I kept cleaning up. Again and again and again. I don't know why, but I kept him alive. From my lack of intelligence, I placed it back. I don't know why. I thought I might have been able to get rid of it like that, but no. So I really had to speed it up.
Hey!
now that I removed both of the floorboards to my sides, they won't be able to get up to me now. You may be wondering, why didn't I remove the stair ones? Simple. It's part of the staircase, so I cannot take it away. And it was getting night time, so in a few hours it would have been day 6. And yep, you can see they're starting to come in now. I decided to actually make my last stand by being loud and getting everyone here. I sat down, rested, and waited. I kept waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting. And I was dictating with saying, can I run it? From the amount of noise I've made and slight glances down below, I could tell there was a mini horde down below. So, what can I do? Simple, make more noise and watch. And yeah, it was bad. Right now, you can see I was kind of losing it, because my guy was actually starving to death, and I was wondering why my heart was wobbling so much. I knew my health was down, because I thought it was that due to corpse sickness. No, that was because I was starving to death and probably had an infection in my body. So, what could I do? I could do nothing. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't eat, all I could do was drink. Drink, and drink, and drink, and I kept speeding up time, while shouting, just so I can get a big enough horde to take me out, or try to. It was, where's the fun just dying from starvation? So, good old Antonio here, really had no idea what to do. I had plenty of water. If I could survive on water, I would. But, well, it didn't work that well. Because I had perfect defense on legs and arms and body, so I did have a chance. If only I executed it much better. I also found new shoes, so my feet are perfectly safe now. But I really had to go, you know what, might as well just end it. Because, what can I actually do? So this would literally be the end of Antonio. It is either starvation or get eaten. I think you know what choice I obviously took, so let's do it.